I'm pretty, I'm cool, I dominate this school.
Bring It On is it's a really fun, cool movie. It's basically about this suburban squad who for years have been winning national championships by coming to our school and stealing from us. And this year, I'm the captain. I play the captain of the East Compton Clovers. I play Isis. And this year, she's not having that. She's like, no, this is not gonna happen. So basically, the movie is like set up over a period of a school year, I believe. With them having these various little showdowns at different competitions.
It's like a big dilemma in the beginning. I become captain. I find out that all our routines and all our dance numbers, everything's been stolen from the East Compton Clovers. This is totally not disrespectful to cheerleaders. It actually puts them in a really good light. It shows them, how hard they work to get where they are, and what dedication it takes, because it is really a sport when they take it this far.
It's definitely a sport, oh yeah. All the training, all the rehearsals, the practices, the stretching, because it's very competitive, very competitive. They've got scholarships, college scholarships that are offered to cheerleaders. It's a big deal.
Cheerleading is like this American iconic thing. It's stereotypical, yes. There are a lot of misconceptions about it, yes, but that's what made it so fun to play with all that stuff, because everybody has this, everybody knew a cheerleader. Everybody has, come across one, dated one, wanted to date one. So everybody has a feeling, be it, love or hate, about cheerleaders. So it seemed a great subject matter to explore.
We had some amazing choreography on the movie. The Clovers routines were choreographed by this woman called Hi Hat, who's done a lot of music videos. And she brought these really fresh, amazing dance moves. And so much of the characters of the different squads, the Toros and the Clovers, are the music that they perform to and the types of dance moves that they have. So we really wanted a different feel for the Clovers and for the Toros, and I really think that we were able to achieve that.
The Toros, they're doing those old school moves, like this little move right here.
And like this.
Right.
They hired a choreographer.
Yeah,
they
cheated.
cheated.
Yeah, they hired a choreographer.
We got originality to the table.
At a certain point in the movie, Torrance makes a decision to hire a choreographer whose name is Sparky Pilastri, who's an interesting character.
Y'all ready for this?
He's a guy who always wanted to be a Broadway choreographer in the proud tradition of Bob Fosse, and now he's reduced to choreographing high school cheerleading squads. He pops pills, he yells, he's lecherous, and his routines are severely dated.
Oh my God! These are not spirit fingers. These are spirit fingers. And these are gold.
I think that this movie is gonna, especially for the cheerleaders, because this is like one of the first movies really about cheerleading and really about their sport and how competitive they are and how it really goes, So I think that a lot of cheerleaders are really gonna respect this movie too.
Whole new respect for cheerleaders on my part. I mean, it's not just like, silly dances, and it's some of the hardest work I've ever done. I mean, like I said, I came from no kind of dancing or gymnastics background. I have 3 older brothers. The height of my activity was tackle football with my brothers, but it's so hard, but the payoff is really amazing. This is indescribable.
When you go to nationals, bring it. Don't slack off because you feel sorry for us. That way, when we beat you, we'll know it's because we're better.
At this level of cheerleading, they do so much hard work. There's so much athleticism. I don't think they get enough credit for how hard they do work because it seems so fluffy. It's like people think of cheerleading as a real fluff thing, but at this level, they're working as hard as any of the sports teams that they're cheering for, and sometimes, at a lot of these schools, they're better than the sports teams they're cheering for.
I never knew that people
really, really took cheering this far, like their life. I didn't know that it was people actually out there, like, you know how singing is my life. I didn't know that people really, took cheering like their everything. Like, they breathe, eat, everything. They just cheer all day long. I didn't know it was like that.
I said burn. It's cold in here. There must be some Clovers in the atmosphere. I said, oh, ice, ice, ice. Slow it down.
Well, I mean, there's the two teams. There's the East Compton Clovers, and then there's us. And the East Compton Clovers are made up of about 4 actors, and then all the rest professionals. And our team is about 8 actors, and all the rest are professionals. But, I mean, on our team, one of our guys from Texas, he's like the best cheerleader in the country, and it's like they're serious business.
The people who make up our squad, some of them are national championship cheerleaders from like Louisville. Amazing. We have some amazing people on our squad.
It's technical. I mean, because there's a lot of big cheerleading, guys that do the lifts and stuff, but there's some smaller guys, and you just get impressed. I mean, some of the girls that I lift, as long as you both do your parts, it's really more technical, but it does take some strength, and you'd be surprised. Some of these guys are pretty big.
Nervous, it's like you're almost, like performing, but there wasn't a lot of people in the crowds, but when everyone starts clapping for you, you're like, yeah, let's go out there and do it. And it's just, you get like really aggressive, especially when you watch like the Clovers perform, because they have like an amazing routine also. And so you watch them and you're like, yeah, we gotta beat their butts, we gotta, rip it up. So you just have to go there with that aggression, because that's like what cheerleaders do. Like in between dance moves, they go, yeah, and like get into it all, really spirited.
Do I look like a milkmaid? Because somebody feels like a cow.
Carver, can you cradle out? You bet I can. Okay, ready? 1, 2, down, up.
Well, I think that in the case of this film, ironically, or not ironically, obviously, we looked for some actors that maybe had that, when we auditioned them, we wanted to see whether they were, physical enough and skilled enough physically to be able to do the parts. So in the audition process, part of what they had to do was they actually had to do some cheers. So you could see whether they were, clumsy or athletic.
I knew nothing about cheerleading when I started this. I remember my audition, I went in and there were all these girls outside like stunting and doing all these cheers, perfectly sticking everything, and I kind of went in and they asked me what I knew, and I said I'd done yoga, and they asked me if I could do a split, and I never really had, but I just kind of popped down into one, and they were like, okay. So we had to do a lot of training, but I've never danced, gymnast, nothing. I was a tomboy growing up.
8th grade, when you didn't have to have talent. That was the last time I was a cheerleader.
I was a cheerleader in 8th grade, so it was quite different then. No men on the team, and certainly no stunning.
I wasn't really into it, but when I was in high school, I got involved in the band, and I was on the drill team, so I have a little bit of experience, cheerleading.
I was in marching band, but that prepared me greatly for this.
I was a cheerleader in 3rd grade. I was the captain of my cheerleading team, but I don't think that counts for anything. But I never did it in high school. Like, I'm a senior now, and I don't go to regular high school. I have a tutor, so I didn't even get to experience that. So it's kind of fun.
I was a cheerleader in 8th grade. So, but we never did like the hardcore cheerleading like with ESPN. We always did, go team. We had the easiest cheers. We just had like 2 words. We got spirit, yeah. But we did bases, all that kind of stuff.
We went through 4 weeks of training at the Champion Outlaw Gym with Ray as our coach and Ann. It was totally incredible. It was amazing. I fell in love with cheerleading. I didn't know anything about, like I said, this type of, the athletic cheerleading, and I'm hooked. I absolutely love it.
Some of it's scary, but just with them from the beginning, it was this no fear thing, because I don't know, you don't fall really. Someone's always gonna catch you. I mean, you can get hurt, we had an injury last week, but you really get the sense of you're not gonna hit the ground. There's enough people around who are just gonna catch you, and so you'll do anything. Just throw me as long as you catch me, So and also it's helpful with, usually we do actor with real cheerleader, as opposed to two actors together, because where we may screw up, they can, like, you know, compensate for it and make it stick.
The only hard part about it is just the stunting that we have to do, the walk-up hands and the walk-up chairs and learning the stiff cheerleading moves. I mean, that's hard because, you know, you're scared you're gonna fall. But the dance and everything else is real easy.
I caught on to the stunning really quickly. The dance, I'd done ballet and tap, but it had been a while, you know? So it was harder for me to learn the dance part of this routine than the stunning.
I've never felt more uncoordinated in my life. You know, like I said, I can shoot like, you know, 1,000,001 free throws, but put me up in a chair, I'm like, please just let me land. Yeah, I feel like it's the worst feeling.
Cheerleading has a complete language of its own. You have to know scorpion. I don't even know scorpions. No, you have to know such phrases as basket toss, cupies, full outs, cradle outs. I think there is a scorpion lift, full out double twisters. There's just, I don't even know all of them. I think there's a glossary around.
Okay, listen up. I'd like to try wolf wall.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
Torrance got the fever, people. What's a wolf swall?
Only the hardest pyramid known to cheerleading and mankind.
It's all lingo, yeah. The walk-up hands and extend, I mean, it's just, it all kind of makes sense once you know it, but at first we were like, okay, take it slow. But I mean, within one day we were doing, you're basically, your butt sitting in someone's hand and they're holding you up there and you just have to pinch a penny, pretend there's a penny between your butt cheeks and squeeze that hard, so.
And the faces, they call it facials, and you go, like, oh, that stuff. But it's weird. I'm not cheesy like that at all. But once I hit the mat and the camera goes, all of a sudden I find myself going, and like all the stuff that you do up in the air, like, you know, when you hit your high V, and you're like, ah. You wink, I'm a winker now. I don't know what happened there. But you just become that cheerleader. I don't know. I guess we all have it somewhere in us. The little cheerleader inside comes out with the facials.
This movie mines an area of high school that I hadn't seen in a movie before, which was concentrating on cheerleaders and really who they are. It doesn't make fun of cheerleaders. It treats them with respect. I mean, it pokes fun at the things that should be poked fun at.
He is so easygoing. What's great about him as a director and as an actor, he has such great communication with us. He doesn't look down on us, doesn't just try to say, oh, do it this way, you know. He'll let us come to him and be like, hey, well, can I try it this way? Or can we try this or do something, you know? And he's like, yeah, he's very open-minded to our opinions.
He's the best. He gives you the freedom to do your thing, and he has absolute faith in his actors to do their jobs.
And action.
He just makes the set really comfortable. As soon as you come on, he's joking around, and even though, you know, he can joke around because he knows exactly what he's doing, he's so, you know, he just, even if you're in a bad mood, you come on the set, he makes you laugh.
You're always hearing people saying, like, oh, this movie's got everything, but this movie does have a lot of, you know, for the guys, you've got obviously a lot of cheerleaders to look at. For the girls, I mean, the character of Kirsten Dunst, her character Torrance is you know, the leader of this team. She's got all these choices to make. There's a love interest, this character Cliff, so it's got a romance aspect to it, and it's funny. First and foremost, it's a comedy.
Swinging on the front pop, swinging on the lawn, swinging where we want, 'cause there ain't nobody home.
Okay, any more questions? I think we're good.
Ready? Okay. G. Oh, let me hear you say go. Go. That's right. Unite, let me hear you say fight. Fight. W-I-N, let me hear you say win. Win. Together again, let's say bring it on.